We come back here all the time. We believe in it. We watched it grow from something that was a far-fetched dream. You know, we put our first program together, our first trip together in 30 days, maybe 2 months at most, but hard planning about a month, not knowing what to expect, get here, overwhelmed ourselves, did it, left, we were on a high, adrenaline was, you know, pumping, and we were like, wow, we just did that, and we believed in it, we kept going, and here we are today, another trip later, you know, another trip in, and we're starting to see what you guys are taking from it, and that's huge for us. You're learning more about yourselves than you think, and this trip is what does this every time. And you are reaching out to every student that you're working with in one way or another. If you come on this trip 5 times and reach out to one kid, that's huge, that's powerful. Sometimes teachers try to teach an entire career to reach out to one kid, you know, at that level, like you guys did in one trip. So it's powerful. And that's why we believe in what we're doing, and that's why we keep coming back here. It's gonna all be worth it. You guys are gonna leave with new friends, not only from this community, but from this table. And you guys are gonna walk away with a huge adrenaline rush because Friday's gonna be amazing. We know it is, it has been every time. And you know, we believe in you guys, and that's why you guys are here. That your teachers believe in you guys, and it's gonna be amazing.
I think in our wildest dreams, you know, when Dan and I sat in his shop talking about Project 5 and how we could, you know, build on the soccer program, we never thought we could come this far. And it's not about how many times you come up here. It's about, you know, how impactful it can be being here. We come up here because we think you're gonna make a change in the kids here, but the biggest change comes in us, really. You know, it happens here, and we see it, and it happens in me every time I come up here.
Wow, this has been probably the best trip I've ever had in my life. I'm glad to say that. And I'm glad that I had you guys. It's been like such a short amount of time and we've clicked so well all together. And especially the 4-minute challenge that really got me to get to know you guys. The challenges are mostly just like trying to get the kids to listen, but besides that, like, oh my God, they're amazing. Like they have so much potential. So I thought that there's like a lot that we can do, that we can help the kids, and I see that it makes a difference because they go running towards you for a hug, and it puts a smile on their face. And I think that's the most important thing. That's where we need to focus on, is that what we're doing here is actually making a difference. It might be making a small difference, but it is making a difference in their children's lives, and I think that we should be grateful for that.
When we're working in the gym and we're working in the caf or wherever we're working, I do feel like we're making a difference. Even if it's a bit of an impact, I feel like we're making an impact. Because I saw a kid in the Northern store, he's like, hey, it's me. And I was like, I don't know this kid. But I was like, hey, I remember you. And he's like, yeah, you talked to me in the gym and asked me how my day was going. And he's like, you're really cool. And then he left. And I was like, oh. By those kids saying that to me, it gives me the confidence to go out and work hard and try and give it my all, even if I'm distracted by other things. But I am here for the kids. I'm not here for my self-benefit. Yeah, it's great for me too, like I benefit from it, but really I'm just looking to help them, and I know all of us are. And when we're doing that, even if we don't see an impact, we know it makes an impact because we come back like time after time and the kids are like, hey, I still remember that dance. Like Angel, we taught her one dance and she knew all 6 of them. I don't know how, but she knew all 6 of them. And I don't know, I just feel like it's a great system we have in place going here. And I don't know, I think we should just try and keep it.
I see these kids' faces and they're just like, every time one of us walks in a room, their faces glow. Their eyes sparkle and they go, yay. And it's like, that is so motivating because you're like, at first you're so tired and drained from like all the work that you've been doing, but as soon as you step in the classroom and then you hear these kids say yay, and we're here to give them hope. So the fact that we get to come all the way up here and show them and share with them our passion and talents, it's amazing. It helps you grow more as a person, and it helps the kids obviously, but I personally think that I was so down to come here and give to these kids, but they're giving to me. The kids have gotten so attached to us, and it's very clear that it's because we carry ourselves with love. These kids have brought tears to my eyes.
We taught grade 8 last year, like grade 7. Now we're teaching like the SKs and the 2As, and it's like, actually there was this one girl today in class, she's deaf. She can't speak. And we were playing a game. Nicole brought her to the front because it was her turn. And I told Nicole she can't hear, she can't speak, so she might not be able to play the game. But then Nicole told me like, anything is possible, you know? Like anything can happen, literally. And she played the game, and I'm just so happy. I felt so mad at myself because I didn't like think about that at first. But then realizing that like anything is possible, no matter how little they have. I just wish that I meet more people like you guys.
I was pretty nervous to come, and I kind of knew what to expect, but at the same time I didn't. I mean, May and Alyssa told me about like how the kids are and everything, but just coming here and actually experiencing it is a whole other like level. Just going to the school and teaching these kids and seeing them actually open up to us is a gift. And there's actually this one girl in one of the classes we came in, she was extremely shy, and I tried to open up to her. I'm like, come on, you wanna dance, whatever. And then slowly I could see a little smile coming, and then now she's like talking to me, she's participating, and she's still a little shy, but she's opened up. And just being able to see that, and being able to see that their happiness through all of this is amazing. And I know like coming here, it changes you, but also it changes them. It gives them, like Luna said, it gives them hope. And yeah, it's just an amazing experience. I love it.
Like, I'm so grateful to have met every single one of you and like experience this with you, because like it's my first time like actually being away for more than just a weekend from like not only my like parents, but like just like my home and like that environment. And like I got in really big shock. Like the kids at home and the kids here, they're living like completely different lives. but the smiles that they had from just simply dancing or even just stretching were the exact same. You could still tell that like there's that innocence and that like pure happiness coming from them when they dance, and like just the situations that they're living in are completely different, but just being a kid was the same. This trip just opened my eyes so much that there's so many things, like different things happening from this community and our own community, but they're in the same province. Like you wouldn't imagine, and like the opportunities that we get and the lives that we're living. It's so much bigger than how far our towns actually are from each other.
I'm gonna be honest, coming on this trip, I was a little nervous. And it was kind of funny. The first day was a bit of a shock because, you know, even though like some of the classes were really responsive, I found it hard for me to try to make that connection because it felt like there was a bit of a block there. But afterwards, it was after I taught one of the grade 8 classes, I had to just teach them by myself. Even one of the girls in the class, a lot of them would come in with their hoods on and covering their hair. And one of the girls, I was just helping her out with the steps, and I was like, you know, like, come on, like, let's just take off your hood. And I put my hood on and I took it off with her. And when she took off her hood, it felt like she was so vulnerable at that point because she put on that barrier because she didn't want to show that. And then when she took that off, it was such a big thing because it's like she felt comfortable taking it off. And now she, like, I see her every day and she smiles. When you see that smile, it just makes you think like, it makes you like think, okay, I had an impact in making her smile and making her not like wear her hood all the time, and actually looking up and participating in what's going on and what we're teaching. And she enjoys the exercises, and she comes to the after school and she dances around, and she wanted to learn more moves and go over the dances. And it was like, it was such a big change from just a simple action of, come on, she looked beautiful when she took off her hood, and I told her that. It really makes you think about everything differently, and like how powerful this trip is because of how much you like, it changes you, but it also changes you in the way that you see how it helps the children and gives them hope, and, you know, it gives them a sense of comfort.
So I'm kind of like a loss of words for this whole trip because I wouldn't actually think like my actions would be changing someone's life. Like, it's kind of like a culture shock coming up here because I kind of expected like, oh, like things are gonna be different from back home, and like we're kind of sheltered back home. Everything's gonna just be different up here, and I kind of knew it, but I didn't know like to this extent. Being able to actually like do something so small like dance, something that we take for granted back home, something that, you know, sometimes I complain about, like, oh, I don't want to go to dance tonight, I'm tired at work, like I'm just like, not in the mood. But like seeing that how like we do something so simple, like something I take for granted every single day isn't taken for granted up here. It's very like it's a very big eye opener, and you know, it is. Before this trip I kind of like struggled with kids because I feel like I never like had the patience for kids, but now like realizing and working with them, it's changed my mind like big time. Like I feel like I bonded, and I could go back home and this could be like something I could take with and I'll never forget, because it's like a once in a lifetime experience. I would never think like my parents would even allow me on this trip, and it took a lot of convincing, but now that I'm here, I'm happy that I was like chosen, and like I had the opportunity to be here, and not even just like bonding with the kids, like bonding with everyone else. I'm happy to be here right now.
Both times I've been here, like, it's been life-changing, but I find that like these two trips had a very different purpose. Like first time I was kind of like you guys, where you said like you were really shocked, and like, I don't know, like it was very hard to take in, and like, I don't know, it's a big shock coming here and not knowing what to expect, and you really don't know what to expect until you see it yourself. But I find that was more of my time to get myself prepared for what I'm gonna do. And I think that obviously the first time we came here, I saw a big difference within the kids from Monday to Friday. But over the course of these few months that we haven't been here, I wasn't expecting to see much of a change. I was honestly expecting to have to start from square one with these kids. But it makes me really, really happy that us, along with like everyone else that went in between the time that we weren't here, has like almost carried them on, so that we're not at the stage as much of trying to build their self-confidence, get them to take their hoods off, get them to participate. It's more, we're showing them what more they can do, how they can grow. And the thing that makes me the happiest about all this is seeing like a kid that's not paying attention and looking away for a second and noticing him out of the corner of your eye practicing in the corner. Even though it's the kid that you think doesn't care, like they all care. They really, really, really care. And yeah, I think that sometimes I kind of forget. But then you see kind of that these kids, what they're thinking about all day is you. And the fact that they were coming to the door, dropping off pictures, they did their makeup because earlier that day we asked them, oh yeah, where's your lipstick you had last year? They put on all their makeup and knocked on the door just to show us that.
Yeah, their eyeliner.
Yeah, they were ready to go just because we had mentioned it once. And it shows how much that we are changing their lives. And they're changing ours more, I think. It's like I'm a different person than I was before we came. And like on this trip, like obviously like, I met a bunch of best friends. I made 3 new little sisters, and yeah, I love you guys.
Oh, I made
All the newbies.
Melissa?
Thanks.
Okay.
So for me, this is my second time coming here, and it's different completely. Stepping out of my element. I haven't taught drama or even done drama since I was in grade 5, and it's almost bringing back that kid in me. There's one girl in our grade 3 class, and she just, in all of our classes, I've never met a kid like that. She jumps everywhere, and she's always like, oh, let's play this, let's do that. Are we gonna do the play? Like, can I have a speaking part? And everybody's like, yeah, can I have a speaking part? And she brings this light into the class where everybody just wants to be so proactive and want to do everything. And it's so great to like see somebody like that. That was my goal, to get every kid to step out of their comfort zone, just like I'm doing on this trip. And Maya's been working her bum off in every single class, getting that one quiet kid to be in the play. And today we reached that goal. Every single kid wanted to do something. Every single kid wanted to have a speaking part, and it was great. And today in our very last class, they sang Roar by Katy Perry, and I bawled my eyes out. You saw so much power and emphasis on the fact that they wanted to be the loudest. They wanted to show that they were powerful and that, that they could really roar that loud. They wanted to be heard, and it made my whole entire week. I don't think anything could embark on my brain that hard.
So this is my second time coming here, and of course I had like my expectations or what I thought this trip was gonna be like. And I came here and it's not even close to what I thought it was gonna be. There's a different mission this time. So going to the kids, first walking into the school and seeing these kids picking up exactly where you left off with their confidence and being like, hey, let's take a selfie, let's dance. I'm like, yes, let's do it. I was like, I'm so excited. You think you know someone, you get to know when someone has this mask on and you think, they're fine. Like, this person's this. And then you sit down and you have a conversation with them, or you stare at someone for 4 minutes in the eyes and you realize there's more. And, it's taught me to be a rainbow in someone else's cloud, not only for the kids, but for your friends. Thank God, man. I thank God every day for saying I am beyond blessed. I say beyond blessed to be here. Beyond blessed to be here with amazing people. Because it takes a certain person to come on this trip. And I thank God that I've had amazing teachers and role models who I will carry for the rest of my life. Kids who I will carry for the rest of my life. And I am like the happiest gal on the planet. And I figure with my happiness to pass it forward. I think you have to do that. With your love, you just gotta keep going. You gotta keep passing it. Every little something happens, someone make you smile, your turn. You gotta make someone else smile. And that's and that's the key to life, I think.
I'm so grateful that I could be able to come here. I love the kids here. They're so nice, so generous. All the time when I walk into a class, they're always smiling. They're so kind, and I love them because they're so like sweet, and I love them. And I'm so lucky to be here with all you guys because you guys are so amazing, and I'm so lucky to have you guys as friends. But I just love being here because it's a beautiful place, and I just love you guys so much.
That you guys all wanted to come, genuinely wanted to come, and I'm not surprised that you bonded and had made these connections because you're all similar in certain ways, and that's why you're here for a reason, okay? For your own reasons to help other people, but takes a special person, like Ashley's saying. I agree. In terms of the work that we're here to do, I know that we worked really hard planning the program and everything, and you guys are working so hard, being versatile, trying to get them motivated in every way. But in the end, it's really not just about that, right? Like, you know, there was some minutes, they're like, okay, what are we gonna do now? They're not paying attention. I'm like, just sit down, just go around and ask them what their name is. And I think just giving them that attention, and that you're looking them in the eyes and giving them that value and respect that you came all this way from Toronto to be here with them. And really, yes, you're doing great things, but it's more than the work, right?
We learn something new about each other every single time, and that's what it's all about. So in the end, if we come here and we don't change one kid's life here, we know when we go back that at least we changed our lives, and that's very important. And we hope that we continue to have the opportunity to bring more groups up here and continue to share in this joy, because it's something that has changed my life personally as well. You guys are great because you do understand that. That's why you're here. So thank you.
It takes a team to do what we did and what we're doing. And I think that's important to know that too, that it's all about the support that we have for one another and the faith that we have in one another, because we all believe that we want what we're doing here to work. And it's so beautiful what we're doing, the connections that we've made, the amount of emotions that have just been released in this place. It brings out, I think, everything. And it's amazing because what it's done is it's given support to one another, but then when we support one another, it's easy to see how we can show others that if they support each other too, that things will be okay. And I really love that about this program. Every time we do it. So I really hope to be a part of it again. Thank you.
What's most important is that you are getting through to these students, and you're learning a lot about yourselves. You're learning more about yourselves than you think, and this trip is what does this every time. And you are reaching out to every student that you're working with in one way or another. So thank you guys for coming, taking time out of your lives, your dance classes, your friends, your everyday life, your academics, to make these sacrifices and try to reach out to somebody in a community that is very unfamiliar to some of you. Okay? So you guys are all angels to do what you guys are doing. So thank you.